How you doing?
Hi. Fine.
Nice to see you, darling.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
bad. What are we going to do?
He's very bad.
Oh, Diane,
Hi,
Diane,
guys.
Diane. Diane,
Yes, yes.
this is an entirely new look at you, you know? After 17 years on The Price is Right,
Yes.
hiding behind refrigerators and toasters.
Well,
Not exactly a toaster. Toaster isn't big enough to hide this, but
Microwave.
yeah.
microwave, that's right.
Well, what made you decide to say yes this time? Because I know they've been after you for a long time.
Because the
They've been
price was
offering-
right.
That's, well, actually, that's...
Oh, the old businesswoman. Oh, let me tell you something.
That
There's
was-
a price for anybody.
Well, it took them
the way
20
she says
years.
in
It
the
took
article.
them 20 years to make the price right.
Well,
I would say that it was like, it started about 20 years ago asking me to be a playmate. And then I said no, and then I tested for a cover, and then they wanted to cut the T-shirt out and show a little bit more, and I said no. And then I went up to do a layout up at the mansion, and everybody ended up taking their clothes off, and they said, Diane, you've got to take something off. You're standing out like a sore thumb. So I left. And then about 5 years ago, they asked me to do a pictorial, and then last December, they started a campaign that was relentless.
Boy,
It
they
went
really-
on, it went
they
on
really
for
pursued.
9 months, and Marilyn Gabrowski, the West Coast editor back there, she never gave up. I mean, she was relentless.
Wow.
And
What was your biggest concern about doing it? Was it that...
I was scared to death.
Really? I mean, you have a beautiful body,
I
so it
have
wasn't...
been in the tiniest bikinis, and I made a living, as you well know, of being in swimsuits and things like, well, hi, Joy. I know her.
saying
She's
hi to
not-
Joy.
Hi, Joy. We're
Well,
good
when
friends.
you've
That'll
known
throw
each
Joy
other.
off.
But Joy knows, and you know that my...
Hi, Joy.
Hi, Joy.
Hi, Joy.
Everybody.
Oh, I under a lot
Look
of
at
pressure
you
here.
now.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you've been on The Price is Right, which is a family show for so many years. Were you concerned that your fans would be upset?
Well, I was hired as the wholesomely sexy one on Price is Right, so I was always in bikinis, and if they could think of any way to get something cut up on me or down on me or whatever, it was good ratings. And I think when it really got to the point where I decided to do it, I had a meeting with Mark Goodson, and Mark Goodson said, I always thought it was a classy magazine. And, you know, he's turning the pages and seeing Kim Basinger and Goldie Hawn and Sally Field. And if they weren't doing major interviews, they were doing beautiful pictorials. So
But he said no
"I
at
see no
first."
problem."
Yeah, he did say no at first, and so did Bob.
Bob Barker.
Actually, they said no because at first they were concerned that maybe it was a more family-oriented show, but then when they thought it over, they said that they didn't really feel that was right.
Well, now, so what do you think about when you pose? You know, is there some thought that goes through your head? Or?
If you notice, you don't have to.
Yeah, we have
If you notice the layout, and I'm
Well,
sure
I'm
you,
trying
I'm
to
sure you have.
You're still a little squeamish, aren't you?
Yeah,
I can't imagine what that's like,
I'm
sitting
shy.
next to him while he's sitting there looking at you.
If you've noticed the pictorial, the one, there's 2 pictures where I'm looking right at the camera.
Yeah.
I've got a pillow,
Yeah.
but all the ones that I really not dressed, I'm never looking at. When I started looking, why was I never looking at the camera? And I think it was my way of escaping the fact that I didn't have my.
Well, you're looking in the camera.
Yeah.
Well, I have something over me, and
Yes,
I felt
almost over you. Yeah.
Couldn't find a pillow big enough. I'm just jealous, okay? Let's be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so how long does it take to shoot one of these things?
We shot 2.5 weeks.
2.5 weeks?
Mhm.
I thought you was going to say 2.5 hours.
About 8.5 hours.
Weren't you exhausted?
Yes. I lost a quarter of a pound every day. As a matter of fact, they were getting very worried because I was trying to eat, but the anxiety of doing something like that, you know, I kept coming in, they kept saying, would you eat? Would you put some
Probably
weight
the
on?
hardest thing would be the first picture, right?
Yeah.
Does it get
Yeah.
easier as it goes along?
Plus, they were real kind. Playboy's really, really good about that. They know what you are comfortable doing, and I told them I was very shy about it, so they never had any of the technicians come around while we were shooting it.
It was just you and the photographer.
And when the makeup artists or the hairstylists had to come around to fix something, they'd come around, they disappear. So I was basically one-on-one, and the photographer looked like he was a Wall Street accountant, and he's a Mormon.
Is he really?
And commutes to Utah and has all these children and a lovely wife.
Yeah.
But he's a Playboy
Photographer.
and classiest guy, just really kind.
Well, now,
But there are certain things you wouldn't show. And
Yeah.
you're very, the reaction has been good about that.
amazing, they're getting tons of calls at Playboy and CBS and Price is Right, Markinson's office. They're getting a lot of fan mail saying that they were women saying, thank you, you're proving that, you know, you don't have to be 20 years old to still
that's right.
hold
That's
it
the
together.
whole point of this. I mean, you're going to be 40. Usually
Not
that's...
that other age.
40.
Not 45. Like she likes to viciously spread around. I've always said 40, but for some reason she keeps saying 55, 45, whatever it is she's saying. But here's the thing. Usually there are nymphettes here, you know, 18, 19 little nymphettes.
Reach.
Little nymphettes.
Yes. No.
Joan Collins wasn't an nymphet.
No, that's right. But it seems like the older women now are getting, not older women, you know, 40-year-old women are getting
the older women.
their chance.
And I think the thing to be said is that as long as a woman has a certain amount of discipline in how she takes care of herself.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, well, Regis, you and I go back to where we used to exchange nutritionists, and we would
That's
talk
right.
about weight and taking care of ourselves.
That's right.
And,
Diane and I, very close. Hi, Joy! Keep Joy happy, otherwise it's over.
This thing, I'm going like this.
I know, and I love it. Now, Diane, has this changed your perception of yourself, or has Bob Barker got a gleam in his eye, or what's going on? Well, it could happen. Even Bob, you know what I mean?
Even Bob. No, I did something that I feel was a bit of a struggle for me to decide to do because of my strict upbringing and also the fact that I had such very, very strict parents.
Yeah.
And I think it was probably good I did it because it was breaking away. Probably.
Are they okay about it?
I don't know. No, the truth of the matter is there's no hard feelings between my family and myself, but it was sometimes you have to do things to survive in your life, so you make decisions to move on.
And then you live with them. Yeah.
And you make your own family.
Well, now that you have made this decision, there's just one woman left in America.
And there will be for a long time.
Kathy, you'd be beautiful.
Here it is, Dian Parkinson at 40 on the cover of Playboy.
Can I say one thing? Since you say everything. Now, I was supposed to be very subtle about this, but I'm not going to be very subtle because Lord knows I know you're not subtle. At the at the Pan Am building on Monday, we're going to have an autograph session.
Oh, good.
So from 12:30 to 1:30.
Oh,
so
sure, we announced
all of you
those.
would like me to sign
12:30 at the Pan Am building on Monday. Darn it, we'll be out of town.
You'll be in L.A.
I'll be in L.A. Thanks, Diane. Thanks for making me.
Thank you so much.
Back with Gilman's favorite show business act in a moment.